Hello, friends, and welcome to stunning Santorini, Greece, country number 41 on our journey to visit all 50 states and 50 countries from around the world. Today, we're stepping off the Azamara Pursuit and into a postcard. Iconic whitewashed houses, sparkling beaches, and those famous blue-domed roofs that seem to melt right into the Aegean Sea. We've been dreaming about this shore excursion since we booked this cruise, and with only 2 ships in port today, we're set up for a picture-perfect day in paradise. Join Mrs. Karnes and me as we wander hidden alleyways, soak in breathtaking views, and discover why Santorini topped so many travel bucket lists. Let's go explore this island gem together.
Hello friends, good morning. We have awakened today to the site of Santorini, Greece, right up there. We had a little overnight ride from Bodrum over to Greece. We're about to go get on the tender and take us ashore, ride up a cable car. I think we've got a full day of touring and planning to see everything there is to see in Santorini today. This will be country number 41. For Mrs. Karnes and me. We're very much looking forward to it, and we're very much appreciative of the fact that you're tagging along to go with us today. So thank you for tuning in to Mrs. Karnes and Me. Take a minute, click that subscribe button, if you would. That would mean the world to both of us. So thank you again for watching, and let's go see what Santorini looks like.
Santorini, or Fira as it's officially known, is a small but mighty gem in the Aegean Sea, covering just 28 square miles and home to a little over 15,000 people. It's famous for its dramatic Caldera views, stunning sunsets, and timeless villages that just seem untouched by the rush of modern life. The Volcano Yachting Company. That's what that boat, that catamaran is. Angelica. That is just... This is a little port.
Start smelling houses.
Welcome to country number 41. Welcome to the beautiful island of Santorini, Greece.
Our first choice after stepping off the tender was a classic one. Do we take the quick 5-minute cable car ride up the cliffside for 10 euros each, or brave the traditional donkey taxi, which costs the same but takes 25 to 30 minutes and comes with, well, a memorable smell? After seeing and smelling the donkeys up close, we happily opted for the smooth and scenic cable car ride. Within minutes, we met up with our local guide and kicked off our Santorini adventure. Our first stop, the charming village of Megalochori, tucked away in the island's southwest. It's one of the oldest villages in Santorini, and wandering its narrow cobblestone streets feels like stepping back in time. Whitewashed houses, blue-domed churches, and sun-bleached walls peek out at every corner, and today it's peaceful and wonderfully uncrowded. Megalochori is also at the heart of Santorini's famous wine country. The island's volcanic soil and powerful winds have shaped a unique way of growing grapes. They're trained into low basket-like coils called kouloures. This ancient method protects the vines from the fierce winds and hot sun, producing the crisp, mineral-rich Assyrtiko wine that Santorini is known for. We even saw how locals reuse old grapevines to decorate their homes, a beautiful bit of island tradition.
Can be for a pot, can be for a blackboard, for a mirror, for a light. Local are so proud of this wine production.
As we strolled through the village, our guide shared a fun fact. Every door in Santorini must be unique. By law, no two doors can be exactly the same. Each is a colorful clue to who lives behind it. It's these little details that make every walk here feel like a treasure hunt.
The identity of the family outside. By law, you cannot have the same door twice.
Oh, wow.
In a village.
Cool.
So if I want to change my door.
One of Megalochori's most beloved landmarks is its traditional bell tower in the village square. Its whitewashed arches and classic Celtic design are picture perfect. Of course, we couldn't resist snapping a few photos. Then our guide led us to a hidden gem we never expected, a traditional underground cave home locally known as an ipiscafo. These cave houses have been carved directly into the island's volcanic rock for centuries, naturally cool in summer and warm in winter. The inside tour was a bit eerie, but absolutely fascinating. A glimpse of how people adapted to this rugged island life.
You can see as everything started in Santorini. But in summer when we are coming in, it's so cold, so cool,
Sure.
fantastic. So a cave house is the best place you can live inside, mostly for the poor community that didn't have possibility, of course, to warm or to cool.
And look who's come to visit.
Electricity arrived in Santorini only 1958 in 1,000 years. So if the local, they haven't sold the property, from very poor they was, they became billionaires.
I'll bet.
That's the reality of Santorini, because everything changed only in the last 20-25 years. So the gap is very short.
Right.
According what it was, carefully,
There's our kitty.
Law.
Yeah.
And you see now, because we are coming from the dark.
And of course, no Santorini village is complete without its cats. They're loved by everyone here. Our guide even carried treats for them, and they followed us like little furry tour companions. Next, it was time for a change of scenery. We made our way to Perissa Beach, famous for its striking black volcanic sand and calm, clear waters. The dark sand, deep blue sea, and rugged cliffs around us created a view that almost didn't feel real. While we soaked it all in, I even found a few smooth pumice stones to bring home as a little piece of Santorini. From quiet villages frozen in time to stunning beaches shaped by ancient eruptions, this island has a story around every corner, and we're just getting started. From the black sands of Perissa Beach, we made our way up to the highest point on Santorini, the Monastery of the Prophet Elias. It sits proudly on the summit of Mount Prophetess Elias, 567 meters above sea level and just a few kilometers from the village of Pygros. The drive up winds through the mountains, and every turn reveals a new breathtaking glimpse of the island below. This monastery was founded all the way back in 1711 and has quietly watched over Santorini ever since. Over the centuries, it's been more than just a place of worship. It served as a secret school during the Ottoman era and was even used as a lookout for pirate ships approaching the island's shores. Today, a small brotherhood of monks still lives here, preserving an incredible collection of rare ecclesiastical treasures, centuries-old handwritten books, and priceless Byzantine icons. Walking through the tiny chapel and the peaceful courtyards, you can feel the weight of history in the stone walls and the gentle quiet that surrounds you. Every religious site we visit on our travels tugs at my heart, and this one was no exception. There's something so moving about standing where countless others have come to find comfort, hope, and gratitude through the ages. And the view? Oh, yeah, the view. From this highest point, you can see all of Santorini spread out below. The sparkling sea, clusters of whitewashed houses, winding roads through vineyards, and distant islands on the horizon. It's a place that invites you to pause, breathe, and just take it all in. If you ever find yourself in Santorini, don't miss this peaceful treasure at the top of the world. It's a moment that I will never forget.
the 9 bells.
Yeah, I was going to say they have all the bells.
Yes, the biggest amount. So the 8 monks are living inside there. They have here animal, so they try to survive with what they grow, with what they...
Okay.
So we're at the highest point on the island in Santorini, at the Monastery of Sant Elias. And we've been walking around up here taking in the panoramic views on both sides. You can see both directions off of the island and what it looks like as it goes back here. And so it's very beautiful, very stunning up here. Of course, we had to buy a book and a little house for Mrs. Karnes to support the works of the monastery, as well as have a little reminder of what we've done today. So we're getting a wonderful tour. We're at the top. We're going to work our way back down to the bottom.
We're going to
Eos. Yes, I think that's how you say it.
Our next stop was the famous village of Aegean, perched on the northwestern tip of Santorini. It's about a 12-kilometer drive, or roughly 7.5 miles, from where we were, and it only took about 15 minutes to get there by car. The drive itself was a treat, winding through tiny villages dotted with the whitewashed houses and blue domes you picture when you dream of Greece. We even passed a few old stone windmills, a reminder of the island's past, when windmills powered grain production for centuries. Aegean is probably the most iconic spot on Santorini, known around the world for its jaw-dropping sunsets, postcard views of the Caldera, and the sparkling Aegean Sea stretching endlessly beyond.
And then you see Perissa, our alligator, our crocodile. Can you see the shape of a crocodile with the big eye and the mouth and the tail?
It does.
So small village Manolas, the one that we have up there to the top.
Even though we thought the narrow streets were quite crowded, our guide told us that this was actually the quietest she'd seen them in a long time. So we considered ourselves lucky. The village still holds on to its traditional cyclitic charm. Winding alleys, tiny courtyards, and beautiful churches with bell towers that chime softly in the breeze. We wandered through it all, soaking in the colors and textures at every turn. Of course, we couldn't resist stopping at those famous Instagram spots. Every corner of Aegean seems designed for a perfect photo. For centuries, Aegean was a bustling maritime village, home to ship captains and merchants whose beautiful mansions still stand today, tucked behind the cave houses carved right into the Caldera cliffs. Much of Aegean was rebuilt after a devastating earthquake in 1956, but its timeless beauty remains unchanged. I'd always heard about Aegean's charm and seen the stunning pictures, but standing there, feeling the warm breeze off the sea, and watching the sun play on those white rooftops, is truly something you have to experience to believe. It was such a fun day, filled with so many highlights and moments that will stay with us forever. Aegean is every bit as magical as they say. There's my wedding. Everywhere I go, I see a wedding. There she is in the wedding. There they are. We also popped into a local grocery store just to see what everyday life looks like here and how the prices compared to back home. Little moments like that are always fun for our travels. We have some of the same things.
I think all this yogurt is Greek yogurt.
It says it's authentic. On our way back to Fira, we drove along the coastline and were treated to sweeping views of the sparkling Aegean Sea. The kind of scenery that makes you fall in love with Santorini all over again. We then made our way to the city center to visit the beautiful St. John the Baptist Cathedral. This Baroque-style church, painted in calming shades of blue-gray and cream, was built in 1823 and stands out as one of the most striking Catholic churches on the island. I always love visiting beautiful churches, and this was the second one today that touched my heart. Fira, the island's bustling capital, is perched right on the edge of the Caldera cliffs and is full of life, with whitewashed houses, blue dome churches, little shops, and cozy cafes spilling out onto the winding streets and terraces with postcard-perfect views. This is where the locals and visitors mingle the most, and every alley feels like it hides another secret spot to discover. After saying a heartfelt goodbye to our wonderful guide, we wandered through Fira's lively streets for some souvenir shopping, picking up a few treasures to remember this special day. After a full day of exploring villages, beaches, churches, and hidden corners of Santorini, it was time to head back to the ship. Our journey back included another scenic cable car ride down the cliffside where, no surprise, a few friendly cats were waiting to bid us farewell. Then came a peaceful tender ride back to the Azamara Pursuit, with breathtaking views of our ship anchored in the heart of the Caldera. What an incredible day. Truly more than I ever hoped for. Visiting on a day without the big crowds made it feel so much more personal and magical. Thank you so much for watching and for joining us on this adventure through Santorini. Be sure to come back next week as we experience White Night, a fun party on deck under the stars in the middle of the Caldera, a first for me. We know that we are living the good life, and we hope that you are too. Yamas!